timberlings of Teldrassil are elementals of nature. In some ways, they reflect the natural order of plants and animals on our great tree, so it is disturbing to see how angry the timberlings have become. I believe it has something to do with the soil. I've been working on different methods of nurturing plants and would like to try them on timberling seeds. Please, can you gather seeds from timberlings around Lake Alameth and bring them to me? Small timberlings are sprouting around the waters of Lake Alameth. They're beyond help. We should try to clear them from the land before they grow large enough to cause trouble. When you're wandering the lake, if you see any timberling sprouts, please take them. Help keep our land clean. Your body looks worn and your spirit weary. Rest yourself beneath our roof and allow Elune to guide your dreams.
Be careful.
I am
Feel
honored.
free to
My goods are of the I do not see the warrior spirit within you, child. I have no teachings which would benefit an adventurer such as yourself. There are many places that you might visit in Teldrassil. Tell me what you seek. The path is long and rewarding. Which path do you choose to walk? I am certain there is a tailor that could provide you training in Darnassus. When you arrive, ask one of the sentinels in Darnassus about seeing a tailor.
And I was looking at this. So, you like kebabs? Classic German dialogue.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's good. And I was like, do you like this one? He goes, this is not the best in German. And I was like, why? I was like, what kind of response is that?
Yeah, I'm like, thanks for waiting after I finished ordering.
Yeah. And I'm like, you ordered from here, right? I ordered from here. Why did you order from here? This is not the best. Where is the best in Germany? Why am I ordering from here?
Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of Trash Taste. I'm once again joined by the boys.
Hello.
Now, this episode is a little interesting because the first time we recorded this episode somehow got corrupted. So we're re-recording another hour. So halfway through, it's going to swap to another episode. Don't get scared. It's still the same great content.
I mean, audio listeners is going to sound exactly the same.
Audio listeners, we're going to
segue
it in a way.
Yeah. But if we somehow switch clothes all of a sudden, that's when you'll know.
Yeah.
But how you boys doing? It's the first time we've been back before the winter break recording.
Of course.
That works, at least.
Yeah, that works. That works, exactly.
Yeah. It is interesting now that January is almost fucking over as it is. It feels like I just got back from
That's
winter
so
break.
scary,
It
dude.
is so scary. That's why I was saying in my earlier episodes that January is just a nothing month. I fucking hate January. I'm bringing this back.
It's long, though. It's got like 31 days. That's pretty... that's on the higher end of months.
Yeah, and I'm ready
It's a
for
long-
February,
so
man. I'm
by
ready.
month standards, it's long.
I'm ready for March, man. I'm ready for March.
No, I'm not
Because-
ready for March because that's when Japan is like, oh, winter's over. Let's go right into summer.
I fucking need that shit.
I like that it's currently cold.
Yeah, I like wearing heavy hoodies and jackets. It's nice.
Just like going
Sweaters.
Spending Christmas in Thailand this year was fucking amazing. Just being able to like bathe in the sunshine every day.
No, I get you. I was
Yeah.
the same way with the Australian summer,
Yeah.
like Christmas, but I just like the winter.
You can also just recognize, God, the summer here sucks. And
Yeah,
when we
summer
get
here
closer
does
to
suck.
it gets worse.
Yeah.
It does, but spring is awesome.
Spring's good. Spring's good.
Spring's
But
great.
then you get those like random hot days that get to like 30 degrees, and
Yeah.
you're like, this is an omen of what's
That's
to
what
come.
I hate.
The suffering,
That's what I hate.
The suffering that awaits us in another month.
No, because like I've been ever since I've got back to Japan, I've been it's been getting harder and harder to get out of bed the colder and colder it gets, you know? Because okay, do you turn the heater on or do you just have a fuck ton of layers when you
I
go to
have
bed?
the heater on.
You have the heater on?
I just have like a really thin blanket.
Or even the
Yeah.
even in the
It just doesn't feel heat.
wait, do you even when it's like fucking dead ass in the winter, you just have a really thin blanket?
Yeah, it's like, what, like 2 degrees I sleep? Yeah, I sleep with
Do
just
you
the
not
blanket.
feel the cold when you sleep?
No, doesn't your body like make like a cocoon of heat in the blanket?
Yeah,
Well, it
but
depends on how thick the blanket it is.
It's very thin.
Cocoon of heat.
It does. It heats up the blanket, and the blanket keeps
Well, yeah,
the heat in.
the blanket traps the heat
Yeah.
in.
But the thicker the blanket, the more of like thicker the cocoon is, right?
Yeah.
If it's a thin blanket, then it's
Yeah.
like
It only got like too cold like one day where I had to put like socks on because my feet were getting too cold.
that's the final straw. It's
that
like
is the
you
final
know it's
straw.
cold when man has to put socks on.
I wasn't happy about it, but my feet were so cold that I had no choice.
I like the fact that that's like DEFCON 5. It got
That
so
is,
cold,
that is.
just out of context. It's just you and your boxes and socks.
You know what's a great way to avoid having to sleep with socks on?
What?
Sleeping with a proper fucking blanket.
No, because I don't want to change blankets during seasons. That's too much work. And what do I like? A blanket's so big to keep around. So I just have one blanket.
We use those, you know, those like plastic bags where it's like the
Vacuum
vacuum
sealed,
sealed
yeah.
ones. Yeah, we use that, and you can do it in
do,
like
do you not have
2
a
minutes.
fuck ton of spare blankets just lying around?
like 2 or 3, but I never used them.
Maybe
just-
you
I,
use
I,
them.
I honestly,
just-
I've used this blanket in
Yeah.
the studio more
Yeah.
than I've used in my home.
We have so many spare blankets at home. I don't know.
I also think that even though it's cold outside, I think my apartment building is like heated.
Right.
So I think
Yeah.
I get like some heat from the building coming into my apartment. Because I
Oh,
rarely have to turn the heat on.
really?
Really rarely.
Damn.
And I know that in like when I used to live in Saitama, shit was like the Arctic.
Yeah.
Like I had to turn the heater on. Like I was like cuddled up in front of it. It was cold.
I mean, especially your place. The walls were so thin.
yeah, those are paper walls in
Yeah,
Saitama
yeah,
I had.
true.
But my office, right, the PC,
Yeah.
that shit's a furnace.
Yeah, that's true.
That heats
That's true.
the room.
Bro, if you're gaming and you're
Yeah,
streaming,
yeah.
you don't even need the heater on.
You don't.
That is
I've
more effective than the heater
had
itself.
to turn the AC on. sometimes this winter.
It's like, let me turn the heater on. Loads up GTA 5 in ultra graphics.
Well, yeah, if I play like, I don't know, like Marvel Rivals and I stream it, like my PC is like max load, and it's like I think it makes the room. It'll make it like 27 or 28.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it really heats.
Is it
up.
actually 27, 28, or is it potentially that you the average person?
I think I also emit more body heat than normal.
Yeah, I feel like you do. You're very good with the cold.
Yeah, cold is pretty chill with me.
Like even for me, because I remember when I got back, my house is like freezing because it's not an apartment, it's a house. My room, no matter how like high I turned the heater, it just like I was like I considered getting gloves when I was like fucking scripting because I was like this. My fingers are freezing.
They don't really have like. I don't think insulation is like a big.
It's not. It's definitely
big
not
factor when building.
Yeah,
I mean, I know it's a little bit, but I know because the summers are so brutal.
Yeah.
Often they
so I was wearing like 3 layers when I started. Like I did a stream and I was wearing 3 layers, and within like an hour, I was like, holy fuck, I keep taking off layers and it's still fucking hot. What's going on? So if you're cold, just be a gamer and you will never have a cold room ever again.
Damn.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice, you know. I don't like during the summer. I pretty much never turn my AC off, so it's kind of nice to just be like not have that be on all the time.
Right.
But you know, that's
fair enough. Fair
This is
enough.
how it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, went on a Christmas vacation. It was fun. What do you guys did too? So it was nice.
I saw the clip where I've been getting recommended your stream clips
Thanks,
where you got your dad into gaming.
I did get my dad into gaming. So when he visited Japan,
Yeah.
I don't know how this happened. And my dad has expressed his interest in gaming a couple of times.
Yeah.
But you know when your dad's like, I want to get into something. And you're like,
Sure.
come on, Dad. He's like, I want to get into meth. Well, Dad, it's Breaking Bad, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I obviously, if he's like, I want to get into something, and he's kind of asking me to help him because obviously he doesn't know how. Sometimes I'm like, I'm down to help, but are you down to learn?
Yeah.
That's the because the gaming's you can't. It's not like if you don't know anything about gaming, I feel like it's actually really difficult to get into.
Yeah.
Well, it's because we've been pre-programmed with the language of gaming, you know?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of stuff doesn't make sense. A lot of stuff is inherently like not very friendly.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of easier ways to get into it. But when my dad was in Japan, he was in my living room. He's like, I want to get into gaming, and then he was like, I want to play this, and he picked up a PS5 controller in my living room.
Okay.
And he's like, I want to play it, and I was like, PS5's in my stream room, not here. He's like, oh, and I was like, but what is here? I had the Steam Deck dock hooked into my PC.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you play Steam Deck, play whatever game you want. He's like, what game should I play? I was like, oh, I don't know. Okay, Balatro, easy. Poker.
Yeah.
You already know poker.
Yeah.
This should be like an easy thing. Yeah, and it was, when he first started, it was really hard watching him play because he, like, none of it made sense and none of it was intuitive. So I'd be like, press the X button. He's like, the fucking X button? What the fuck are you talking about? And then the worst part is Steam Deck has, like, the controllers all mapped to, like an Xbox controller or a Steam Deck.
Yeah.
So I handed him a PS5 controller. So I'm like, press X. And then he presses X. I'm like, no, that's X on Xbox. Circle. Circle. It's pretty much like the worst way to start learning it where, to my credit, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense when I explain it like that, So he's getting into it and, have you ever played Balatro, you guys?
I haven't, but I've seen lots of footage of it, yeah.
Okay. I mean, you got to play it. It's fucking amazing. But like, maybe you want to pick your hand and you want to make a flush, right? So he picks the flush and I'm like, all right, press X, presses like, I don't know, whatever it was, Y or B, and it like discards it. And I'm like, like, what do I do now? I'm like, you're boned. You're fucked. I'm like, you have to restart.
Run it down again. Run it down again. Oh my
God. But eventually he left. He was like, I really, really want to get one. I want to get a Steam Deck. And I was like, okay. I was like, I think, maybe you can get a PS5 or a Nintendo Switch. But he was like, no, I want to get a Steam Deck. I really like it. I like that you can pick it up and use it. I was like, it's like a Nintendo Switch.
Like a Switch,
But I was, I think, I don't know. I also don't think Nintendo Switch is as easy as everyone like to learn gaming with. I don't think it's.
Right.
I don't think there's any good way to learn gaming nowadays other than to like just throw your head at it. So he wants to get a Switch, and I'm like, a Steam Deck, and I'm like, okay. He's like sending me links. He's like, should I get this one? Which one should I get? The OLED with the 12 gigabytes or the 1 terabyte version? Again, more stuff that doesn't make any fucking sense to anyone who doesn't understand gaming. I'm like, just get this one. Get the one with like the smallest size.
Yeah.
So he gets it. And then he messages me. He's like, hey, yeah, I don't know how to set this up. Don't worry, I'm coming back in like 2 weeks. I'll come and set it all up for you.
Yeah.
So I get there, and I told him to buy Xbox controllers because they're quite big, and they generally work with most things. And they're, I feel like, less annoying to use than PS5 controllers in terms of like cross-compatibility.
Yeah.
So I get him these Xbox controllers, and I go to use them with the Steam Deck, and it's like just not connecting. I'm trying everything I can think of to get this Bluetooth to fucking connect to the Steam Deck. It's just not working at all. I'm like, what? I've tried every single thing I can think of. So I start Googling what's the problem? Has anyone else had this? Turns out you have to plug the Xbox controllers into a PC first and upgrade the firmware, and then you can connect them to the Steam Deck.
Modern consoles, eh?
Which, admittedly, you wouldn't have this problem with a Nintendo Switch or like any other console.
Ain't got no chance.
And
His
there's no way
parents
my
got
dad would have figured
no
that out,
chance,
right?
no
Yeah.
chance.
So I add him to like my Steam family account.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, is a pretty fucking awesome feature. I don't know if you know this. You can share your Steam library with family members or friends.
Right.
Yeah.
As long as their Steam account is in the same country as yours.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So mine was set to the UK, and I haven't changed it.
Yeah.
Hey,
So-
Netflix accounts.
It's like there you can have all my and most games you can share.
Yeah.
There's like some new games you can't share, but most of them they can just play all the games. So I was like, there you go, 500 Steam games. Choose anything you want to play, anything that picks your fancy. He's like, oh, I don't know what to play. Scrolling, and he clicks this one game, and it's just like an AI slop game that I'd installed for a video where I play every single game the company sent me. I was like, no, actually, no. You know what? I'll pick a game. I'll pick a game.
He probably has the worst
It's
Steam
genuinely
library.
terrible.
Because it's 90% like streamer games, and then
Yeah, it's awful.
It's meme games. Yeah.
yeah, meme games, streamer games, and then there's like the 10% of the games he would actually enjoy.
Yeah,
if that much.
yeah, it's like probably like 3% of the games he might like actually want to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to play Call of Duty. I'm like, I don't think Call of Duty is going to be fun on this, and that's also going to be so fucking hard to
Yeah.
to learn. Like learning how to move the camera while moving is
Yeah.
so unnatural if you don't game.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So I was like, let's maybe try and find something with a bit more of an easier control scheme to kind of get you into this.
Yeah.
And I was looking, and I was thinking, okay, maybe, yeah, let's definitely get Baltro. Let's try Vampire Survivors. Like, let's download Vampire Survivors, see if he likes
Oh,
it.
that's a good choice. Yeah.
So I downloaded it, and I booted it up, and he goes, this looks old.
I mean, I get it. Yeah.
I was like, Dad, it was released like last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
It's an aesthetic, Dad.
Yeah,
You know, it's an aesthetic.
Dad, I'm
it's
telling you.
retro's in right now.
Yeah.
I just realized I'm old because Vampire Survivors is probably like 4 years old or something.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want to check how old it is, but I know it's older than I think it is.
I think it is like 4 years old now. Was it like post-COVID?
I think it's during
the
COVID.
back end, I think.
Okay.
Can we
okay.
Google when did Vampire Survivors come out?
Oh god.
But I was like, you should try Vampire Survivors because my main thing was like, I need to find a good game with as simple of a control scheme as possible that has
Yeah.
a lot of replayability. Because,
Yeah.
2021.
yeah, okay.
So 4 years ago.
4 years.
Because I feel like for someone to get into gaming, they need to find a control scheme they like, replayability, and just a great game. Like, it needs to be a game that they can keep playing over and over again to kind of get used to like certain gaming things.
And Vampire Survivors is mostly just the Joy-Con anyway, right?
Literally just the Joy-Con.
Yeah.
And then like maybe you have to choose, you click like
Yeah,
A.
a couple of buttons.
Yeah, so it's very, very hands-off and like
Yeah.
super simple.
Yeah.
So started playing it, and he was like, "Oh, I don't like it." And I was like, "No, just
Trust me, Dad. This is peak.
just give it a shot. Give it a shot. Give it a shot." And he was like, I don't really understand." And I was like, "Okay, so the attacks are all on a timer, and you have to move around, and it's all time." I can see it just going like,
Yeah.
it's just fucking going out.
Just pick up the garlic, Dad. Just pick up the garlic.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, no. All right, well, look, we'll get the fucking garlic, and it'll all make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we finally get the garlic, run into them. He's like, "No, I gotta run away from them." I'm like, no, you
You
have
have
to
the
level
garlic.
up.
You're stinky boy now.
You have to level up, Dad. And I'm telling, he's like running away. And like he'll survive for like 15 minutes, but he won't kill anything.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
So
yeah.
you just can't progress.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, you got to think about it, Dad. It's like investment. You got to be making investment every day. You got to get XP per minute. You got to be leveling up constantly
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the next wave.
You got to figure out the risk assessment.
So yeah, he's getting into it, and after a couple
Yeah.
of attempts, especially after the garlic, I think the garlic is such a good way of easing people into that game.
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
'Cause it's
yeah.
kind of like a nice little easy
Barrier.
mode
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
kind of get you through the first 5-10 minutes to kind of get you like getting a bit more of the craziness upgrades. So he's finally getting into it, and I'm like, okay, I should start showing him how to play. So I start like trying to teach him about the upgrade system, which is so fucking confusing.
It is.
Because it doesn't fucking make sense. Because you're like, oh, to upgrade the axe, I need the limp wand or something. And you're like, what the fuck is that all about? Why does that? Or I need a candelabra to upgrade the axe. You're like, what? Okay, to upgrade the Bible, you'll need a clover or something. You're like, this doesn't make any fucking sense to any sane person.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to explain this to him, but I can realize it's not working.
Yeah.
It's on killing and leveling up and getting the gems. And you know, he loved it. And so when we went to Germany, on the flight over, he was literally just on his Steam Deck the entire time. And I was like, damn.
Hell yeah.
He's in it. He's
a
in
gamer.
it. He's into the gaming.
Mission accomplished.
And then, you know, the whole break went through and it was all good. And he also liked the console as well, because when my nephews came around, they wanted to play like every single fucking game on it. And there's I have two nephews, but none of them could agree on which game they wanted to play. So I'd be like, okay, let's play let's play Garfield Kart. And they're like, one of them would be like, I love this, the best ever. The other one would be like, I hate it. New game, new game. And I'd be like, okay, let's play let's play Cuphead. And they'd be like, oh, this looks so fun. And then they'd immediately die. And they'd be like, new game. Boys, you gotta like, I'm trying to explain to them. I'm like, you don't want to change game. You're just bad. You need to get good. That's why you don't like the game.
Tough lessons. Tough.
Yeah.
Life
Don't change
lessons
the game,
early.
change the attitude.
Yeah.
And so they, after like 3 times, they'd be like, no, I'm not changing the game. You need to play this game. You need to get good at this. I'm tired of you quitting.
Why are you putting this through like boot camp, bro?
Boys, I just couldn't believe it. Back in it. What is this?
We didn't have a choice.
We didn't have multiple games. I was like, no, I'm not changing the game. You need to fucking lock in.
There was Metal Slug on our holiday, and there was no other booth.
Yeah.
We got what we got.
You're either playing Metal Slug or the shitty Garfield
Back
game.
in my day, you had like €2. You had to get good. Otherwise, you didn't get to game.
Yeah.
I was like, no, you need to lock in here. I'm not changing the game.
Yeah.
And so after like, 40 minutes of them whining, I was like, fine. I'll put on the game that I think you'll like.
Yeah.
And I was just scrolling and I was like, oh, maybe this one's good. It's called like Stick Fight the Game. It's literally just like,
Have you ever played that?
yeah.
Vem är du?
For like a stream game?
Jag är lite lack.
Oh shit. I've always seen that on my
Nej men
Steam
jag är
recommendations.
ju tävlingsmänniska. Det är som att förlora en fotbollsmatch.
It's like a
Ja, då är det svårt att vara nöjd där. Men hur mycket jag än älskar killarna i Kai så är det svårt att svälja.
So they liked it 'cause it was
Du har varit borta ett tag. Vad gjorde du för något?
Is there just something
bytte om
universal
och
about
sparkade
just
lite grejer.
stick fighting?
Yeah.
'Cause do you remember?
yeah, you just kind of like shoot each
Ingen
other,
har
and they
kommit till
loved it.
skada, nej.
Nej, ingen har kommit till skada. Absolut inte.
I mean,
Mer
this
min
has
egen
always
telefon.
existed in like OV and stuff.
riktigt?
Ever since the Zhao
Den är okej.
Zhao
Oh
animation.
my god!
Vem är
Do
du?
you remember the
Jag
period of the
är
internet
lite...
where just like the sickest animations were just stick fight videos?
Yeah, it's like the animator versus animation period.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Yeah, this
Yo,
one.
that's the classic. Yeah.
This game is actually fire.
It was
It's
really
a
good.
really fun
Okay.
game. We should play this.
It was really fun, and they liked that one a lot. I think
Yeah.
because there was just like a lot going on, and they could kind of control a funny moving character. But they were
Yeah.
very bad, and some of the stages are like stage hazards.
Yeah.
And they could just never understand what's happening.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
just-
this looks fun.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
it's
like
pretty
pure
fun.
chaos. It's really fun.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Vessi. Boys, you guys should know by now. Back to the episode.
Anyway, so my dad got really into Vampire Survivors, and then I left. Well, it's kind of annoying. All he does is like play games lately. Apparently, that's like all he's doing. And then my dad comes over and he's like, "Hey, I got a couple of questions for you." I was like, "Okay." He's like, "I think I beat all of Vampire Survivors." I was like, "You did not beat all of Vampire Survivors. It's been like a week.
Yeah.
You haven't beat it." I was like, show me the screen." So he takes the laptop over and like angles the camera horribly. It's like facing the ground. I'm like, Dad, you gotta, Dad, tilt the camera up, tilt it up. So I'm seeing like a quarter of the TV.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, go to the map select and show me the maps. And it's weird at Vampire Survivors, I think, because it's like 1, 2, 3, and then they're all just called like names or bonus stages. I think
They're like extra levels, right?
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But they're definitely like more levels.
Yeah.
So he had just beat it. He had just beat 1, 2, 3, and then been like, I beat it. I was like, no, you haven't beat it, Dad. You got to do all this other stuff too. But you just didn't know.
It's all like the achievements and stuff as well, right?
Yeah, and there's like, I have like the Castlevania DLC. So it's like,
Yeah.
well, that kind of stuff you can do. So I was like, okay, all right, yeah, you should go do those ones, Dad. And then I saw on the top right, he had 30,000 coins. And I was like, Dad, you got to spend your coins. Because I remember last time when I was there, I spent the coins, and he was kind of like, what have you done? You spend real money? What was that? What'd you do? I was like, no. It's like you can get permanent upgrades if you spend this money.
Yeah.
He's like, was that real money? I was like, no. It's like in game.
Is that real money?
I was like, no, you gotta spend it. You gotta spend it.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes it is.
Very often. That's a good question.
Yeah,
though.
that's a very good question. That's being on the safe side here.
And so I was like, all right, show me a power-up screen, because I was convinced he hadn't spent it. Because there's power-ups. I've played a fair amount of Vampire Survivors. I have not unlocked all the power-ups.
Yeah.
And he opens the power-up screen, and it's all just completed. He bought everything. And I was like, what the fuck? How much have you played? Because I've got like 50 hours in that game, and I'm not close to that.
He's like 500 hours.
Yeah, like I mean, admittedly, I put out. So he's locked in, and then he was like, "Yeah, but man, like I've been trying to get good at this other game," and so I watch him expertly navigate through the menus of the Steam Deck. It was flawless. I was like, "Damn, what a game!"
Oh.
There was no wasted menu input. It was like. Open the Steam menu, close the game, go to library, open the next game, flawless. No tours, lost. I was like, damn, okay. Opens up Cuphead. And so he's like, okay, let me show you. I'm having a bit of difficulty. Maybe you can tell me what I'm doing wrong. And so he loads up a Cuphead stage, which is mostly just boss rushes.
Yeah.
You just have to beat a boss. And so he loads up this boss. It's the fucking flower boss. You know,
Of
the
course.
one.
Yeah, the first one.
And so I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah, I just don't know what I'm supposed to do. And so he loads it up, and I'm watching him on Skype through a webcam aimed at the TV. And I'm watching.
It's like old Let's Plays.
It's like watching like a Dark Side Phil Let's Play.
Yeah.
So I'm watching him, and he's dodging the first ones. The first projectiles that come at him. Okay, he's dodging. Okay. And then like another 5 seconds go by. And I'm like, okay. And he's dodging again. I'm like, Dad, when are you going to shoot him? He's like, what? I was like, you have to shoot him. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, hold X. And then so the bullets start coming out. He's like, oh. I was like, yeah, you need to kill him. You have to shoot him.
He's not going to go away.
And he's like, wait. And she's asking me, he's like, and shoot him at the same time? I'm like, yes. He's like, oh, that seems really hard. I'm like, it is. And then so there's points during this level where he dodges some stuff pretty well, and then he's in a position where he has to like shoot the gun upwards or diagonally, and I'm like, yeah, this is the annoying part. You now have to use the other joystick to aim the gun.
Wait, so did he do the first like run and gun level?
Yeah, so he must have done the first run and gun level without killing
Without
anything.
the gun.
Yeah, which is actually a thing. You actually there's a pacifist run.
But it's way harder to do.
It's hard to do, yeah.
Unintentionally doing a pacifist run.
Yeah, it's pretty. I was like, damn, that's pretty impressive.
Damn.
That's pretty impressive. So he's trying to get into Cuphead, which is a pretty fucking hard
That's
game.
a big step up.
I
That's
think
a very big
because he
step up.
sees the aesthetic and he thinks, oh, it must be somewhat easy.
Yeah.
It's a pretty tough game.
Dude, if your dad, if the next time we hear about your dad's gaming journey and he comes back and he's like, I now
So
speedrun.
I'll let you know. I haven't heard from him in about a week, so I'm sure I'll hear an update about how he's either conquered Vampire Survivors or completed Cuphead.
Yeah.
That would be
Which,
crazy.
if he completes Cuphead, that's certified gamer. I think
That would
that's
be insane.
a lot of people I know.
He's
gave
gunning
up
for
on
he's
Cuphead.
gunning for your speed run record.
We'll know that he's truly your dad.
Yeah.
I'll be like, damn, okay, pretty impressed. Also, but he so he's retired, but he kind of does some odd jobs on the side. I'm guessing he's just not going to do any of those anymore. He's just going to
You've just ruined him.
I guess.
I mean, I guess he's in
just
proper retirement now.
I mean,
He's a full-time gamer.
Yeah.
I think there's no better time to get into gaming. You can play fucking the best ofs for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
right?
That's basically what a fucking Steam library is now.
Yeah.
It's just a
Yeah.
retirement list.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if I could go back, shit. I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing now, though.
Yeah.
It's hard when I was growing up, and now
Yeah.
I'm finally going through the fucking best ofs.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
fun.
kind of makes me think if I were to try to get my parents into gaming, what would I
game?
recommend?
Honestly, I think Vampire Survivors is a phenomenal first
Yeah.
game.
I mean, it is because there's a lot going on, and the control scheme is pretty, simple.
And it has the obviously because the guy who made it used to be I think he had something to do with he worked in the gambling industry. The guy used to make,
Oh, really?
which is why a lot of the mechanics are very fun and
Yeah.
very addictive. Like when you open the crate, that's
Sometimes
why
it's 3 or
sometimes
5.
it's 3 and the music starts going
Yeah. Big money, big money, big money.
which
That
honestly
makes so much sense.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
honestly makes opening the chests always kind of hype.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
though you're probably just gonna get 1, but when you get a 5, you're like, oh! That's pretty fucking hype. And so I think that game is perfect because it has so many addictive elements.
Yeah.
Which I think you kind of need that for a first game. You need to be addicted to really get into that grind.
Also, I think 2D is just easier than 3D in terms of like introducing someone into a game. How long did it take us to get used to like a 3D plane? Because it kind of felt simple because we went from like, I guess, you know, Super Nintendo to like Mario 64.
But I remember like playing like Super Mario World on Super Nintendo, and you know that's a 2D platformer game, right? So it's like, oh, okay, you know, left is left, right is right.
Yeah.
And then the first time I played Mario 64, I was like, hang on, up is forward.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
It's pretty confusing to start off.
I don't
with.
remember reprogramming my brain to like be okay with the 3D space.
Yeah.
I think isometric games are also really good to get people into because it's kind of like it's a pretty simple movement system, but you still get the nice 3D.
Yeah, it's like 2.5D.
Yeah, which
almost.
I think is really good.
Yeah, the only game, like, I don't know about my mom. My mom wasn't like never really into gaming, but my dad, he's played 2 games in his life. He's played Wolfenstein and Doom.
Based, I mean,
And that's
that checks out so much. I'm like, of course.
and that's only because he was working at Logitech at the Doom, like the specific controllers for Doom
that's sick.
and Wolfenstein, where it's like 2 knobs and like one was to strafe and one was to like turn.
Yeah.
So like he's played those games, but like I don't know. Maybe he might be into Vampire Survivors. Actually, it's kind of the same.
I genuinely
regard.
think it's a really fun game to get people hooked on gaming because you know, and it only really when you first start off, you'll only ever last like max 8 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So you get a very short gameplay loop that's super satisfying.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it has a lot of depth. So once they do get hooked, there's a lot there is to do. So
Yeah.
I think it's a really good way to get those gamer juices flowing of like how to kind of optimize a build or, you know, the kind of fun stuff that's like really, really exciting about gaming, I think.
Yeah, I know a game my dad would be fucking addicted to because my dad. So I found out this Christmas holiday, my dad gets addicted really easily to puzzle games.
Okay.
Like for his Christmas present, I bought him this little like puzzle game that I saw on like YouTube Shorts where it's kind of like. It's kind of like a physical puzzle system where you can move like blocks around, and it has like 500 different levels, and it comes with like different blocks that you set it up, and then you have to get one big red block into the final destination by just like moving it around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like the car mobile app games out of the way.
Like that shit. But it was like a physical board.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know, my dad, I got it from my dad because I was like, oh, he does the Rubik's Cube every now and again. He does like, you know, puzzles in the morning. He got really addicted to Wordle.
Nice.
So I was like, oh, my dad is like that kind of guy. He likes puzzles. So I get him that. Thinking this will occupy him for like within like 2 days, he gets to like the hardest fucking difficulty by grinding this shit out. He gets like level 250 out of like 500.
Yeah.
And I kind of I was like, what the fuck have you been doing? And then I realized I went downstairs and all I heard was boop, boop. And then I go to my office, I'm in bed now, and I still hear boop. Boop.
And it like makes a noise.
Yeah. So when you get like the one, you can hear like the tiles being moved, and you can also hear the beep when the
So it's like electronic.
Yes, it's electronic as well. And then I realized on the second day, my dad's, you know, older gentleman now. He normally goes to bed early-ish. Something normally has to be really wrong for him to not go to bed early. And my mum wakes up and it's like 1 a.m. My dad normally goes to bed a.m.
Yeah.
And my dad's just not in bed. My mum starts panicking, thinking, shit, what has happened?
Something's happened.
She fucking rushes downstairs. And what does she see? Boop. Boop.
Your dad was locked the fuck in.
Yeah.
That's gotta be some real fucking like gamer brain.
Oh, he
Stay
does.
awake
He
till
does.
long.
Bro's like L.
Yeah.
He's just locked
So
in.
I think if my dad ever gets to the point where, okay, so this is like a very simple game, but like I think the perfect game for my dad, if he were able to get mechanically to that level, I think Portal would like destroy him. Like Portal would bend his bend his mind so much.
Did your dad ever get into like Candy Crush or like any of those like mobile
Do
puzzle
not
games?
my dad watches this. Do not.
Okay. Because
Dad, do not Google that.
Because my dad, I just remembered the third game my dad got way too into was Candy. I think he's on like level 2000 on Candy Crush. Because he's made it a thing now where every morning he'd make a coffee and he'd sit down with the coffee, open up his iPad and just play Candy Crush or like something equivalent to that of Candy Crush. And I remember I looked over because I played a little bit of Candy Crush as well when it first came out, as did everyone. And I was like, oh, I wonder what level is that. I remember seeing it was like 2000 and something, and I was just like, I didn't even know this game had that many levels. He's on like the fucking like Tetris kill screen.
Your dad like what's it called? Like Cut the Rope. That was a good game back in the day. That was a fire game.
That was a fire game.
What's Cut the Rope?
It's like an old like mobile app, right?
Yeah, it's a mobile app and a game where you have to cut the rope, but you have to cut it like normally there might be like 2 or 3 ropes all attached to like a
oh
thing.
my god, I remember this.
Your dad would love this.
Holy shit.
I want to do a stream where I go back and beat it all in one go.
This game was fire.
I beat this back in the day. It was fucking
really?
awesome. Yeah. I remember because this is back when apps were like good and they weren't microtransactions. They were just like they were just like 99p or something.
Yeah.
99 cents. And I remember I bought all these ones like when I saved up money and I fucking played.
Yeah, that's what your dad can get into, these like old school like mobile games.
I think
like Doodle.
This is a really good puzzle. I think the puzzles were pretty good on this too.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad loves. I think he just loves solving puzzles, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Anything to keep
the brain juices flowing,
keep the neurons still firing. You know, I think it's honestly
his fruit ninja, Dad.
Test your reflexes.
God, I'm trying to remember like the other games I played back in the day, like
Doodle Jump.
Doodle Jump. I was going, holy shit!
That game was fire.
Oh my god!
They made like an arcade game of that, like a physical one.
Oh, I saw that.
When we went to America, I saw it. And I was like, what the
It was like a giant one, right?
Why is there a fucking Doodle Jump arcade machine and like Angry Birds?
Oh my god!
How far did you get into Angry Birds? Because obviously that was like the big thing.
I always hated it.
Really?
Yeah,
I played a little bit of it. I was definitely obsessed with Doodle Jump though back in the day.
Yeah.
Isn't this so
what a fire
fucking
game.
so fucking lame? When it's like in Japan, the fucking arcade games, and in the America, we get fucking Doodle Jump, the arcade game. Japan, you got like, get in your fucking mech, pilot the mech, fight other people in your mech suit. America, Doodle Jump, jump on the doodles.
I mean,
hey, don't badmouth Doodle Jump, man.
Yeah, dude.
No, I'll badmouth it.
This is the OG.
I know it's OG. I was there, but come on, this shit shouldn't be in an arcade. This is so uninspired for an arcade game.
Next time
okay,
one
of the fire arcade machines is the multiplayer Pac-Man. Actually, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I find myself with that game, I'm always like, that's it. After we all put like $1 in each, and it's like over in like 2 minutes. Like,
well, that is the big difference between Japanese arcades and arcades everywhere else in the world.
100 yen can get you like 15 to 20 minutes of gameplay on a Japanese machine.
Yeah,
I'll know inflation has truly hit Japan once it's no longer 100 yen for 3 songs.
Once we get Doodle Jump on
once I can go to, if I ever have to go to an arcade machine and I have to put like 200 yen in for 3 songs, I know it's over.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's it. Arcade's dead.
It's GG's.
Well, the problem is that, you know, arcade machines just take a fuck ton of maintenance.
Space, maintenance. Like 3 minutes a song. You get 3 songs each. You get like a minute in between to like, you know, it's 10 minutes per machine. It's kind of a lot of time. I don't know.
Yeah, it is a lot of time. That's why there's like 50 of the same machines in most places.
Yeah, like I've never been to an arcade, at least in the West, and I've always seen like the Guitar Hero fucking arcade. Yeah. I've never seen one with like there's always like one button off.
Yeah.
Or
people can't be trusted to take care of things.
I remember there was like another one. It wasn't Guitar Hero, but it was like Drum Hero.
Oh yeah.
Where it was like the drum pad machines. I remember I went to one. Just one of the drumsticks, half of it was just missing. I was just like, cool. Thanks. Yeah. Who steals half a drumstick?
Probably some fucking drunk dickhead.
Yeah, it smashes it.
Yeah.
Fucking
that's how it normally is. And that's why arcade machines work in Japan, because at least in the culture, you got to take care of your shit here.
Exactly.
And I'm sure even then, at least there is more of a infrastructure for maintenance if you need some like specialized material or specialized stuff.
I feel like asking people to like touch the screen in Western, generally not good. In the UK, we get broken.
Yeah.
Like, hit the screen.
Yeah. It's like, don't smash the screen. It's like, okay, bang.
Yeah. I remember growing. When I was living in London, we had this like one arcade. I'm sure there's way more in London right now, but there was this one arcade. I think it was like LV Arcade or something like that. And
it's still there, I think.
Is it still there?
Yeah, it's still there.
Because the highlight of that arcade was like Bishi Bashi. This random fucking Japanese. Did you ever play Bishi Bashi?
That's a classic.
They've made so many versions of Japan.
Yeah, no, I didn't realize they had made so many versions of it in Japan.
You know, after all of the new and fancy arcade machines that come out, like in the Western
Bishi
Japan,
Bashi's fire.
you always
Yeah.
go back to Bishi
It's
Bashi.
it's fire. It's basically like the Mario Party of arcades.
Yeah.
In the best way, except every gameplay is about bashing like 3 different.
Except if you had 2 brain cells.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so the original was like around like pressing a button.
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
like tons of different mini games involving pressing a button. But
Yeah.
the newer ones, they have like you've seen it, right? One with like the keyhole. Where you like pull out, it's like a circle, and you pull it in and out constantly, and do other stuff with it, and like
What?
turn it
No.
and twist it.
Oh.
I don't
Yeah.
remember the last time I
There's
played
been like
Bishi
Bishi
Bashi.
Bashi variants or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many different versions now. I swear there's another one too, but there's like a
Which one?
oh no, maybe Bishi Bashi.
Bishi Bashi.
Just Bishi
game.
Bashi
Just Bishi Bashi
arcade.
game. Yeah, arcade.
arcade machine.
There's that. Yeah, that one's the
Yeah.
default, but there's
Yeah,
definitely
It's a PlayStation game?
Oh, yeah.
Guess.
Oh,
down.
I haven't. Yeah, the
might
ones
see it.
I always see are these classic ones.
Yeah, but there's
Yeah.
one. There's one where they have a different version. I've seen. Maybe it won't show up. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe if you keep scrolling endlessly, Kai will find it. Yeah, but there's definitely a different version as well.
Yeah, what a fire game.
yeah.
Oh yeah, you get red, blue, and green each. That's
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
Right.
you red, blue, and green, and every
Oh,
game.
that's a different one.
And the gameplay is basically revolved around bashing different buttons.
Yep.
You know,
Ubishi and Ubashi.
you just go full monkey brain. And the thing that surprised me was that this arcade machine was like, it lasted in London. An arcade machine where you literally bash buttons would last more than
it's an engineering marvel. The fact that this thing gets the absolute shit kicked out of it every
Yeah.
single day, and it somehow is the one that survives the longest.
right.
I don't even know how do you test that to make sure it can like withstand a bashing every day.
Just throw it into like a gorilla pen and see if it like lasts
I
a day.
guess.
Sponsored by Shopify.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, you think like Aloe or Allbirds or Skims. Back to the episode.
But yeah, you weren't the only one to get your parents into something this Christmas, actually.
Okay.
Because I also had my own little adventure with my own parents.
Okay.
It wasn't gaming though. It wasn't gaming.
Okay.
Because it's me. Of course, it wouldn't be gaming.
I ain't no gamer.
I ain't no gaming, but
No.
for like fucking years, I've been trying to get my mom to watch like to like sit down and watch an anime.
Okay.
Right? And you know, my dad is like simple. He'll watch anything I put on. I think like he doesn't matter. Like I've watched like Black
What is this
Lagoon.
Aramanga sensei?
No, seriously. There will be times when I'm just like going through the seasonal anime and I have to watch some of the most like degen shit.
Your dad's like, I'm down.
My dad just like sits down, watches, complete silence. There's like the most degenerate shit going on, and my dad's like, interesting.
What do you do for work again?
They're not blood related.
Yes. But my mom, the only thing I've been able to get my mom to watch is basically anime movies. And getting her to sit down to watch like a series has just been impossible. But this Christmas holiday, we had been on. And there is one thing that my mom will definitely sit down and watch. And that is these old, badly Thai-dubbed Chinese soap operas. Mostly to do
Thai-dubbed?
Thai-dubbed.
Interesting, okay.
Like she can sit down and watch these Chinese or Korean palace soap operas for like hours and hours and hours on end. Recently, last year, Apothecary Diaries finished, and I was searching up on Netflix, and I saw that it also had a Thai dub on it. So I was like,
What?
Ooh.
Since when?
Ooh. Yeah, I didn't know this either, but
Netflix
it's
is pretty good at dubbing.
Yeah.
Like,
Damn.
Yeah.
Netflix is dubbed in like so many different languages. It's not just English dub.
Right.
Yeah, but they somehow had a Thai dub. So I was like, okay, maybe my mum will get into this. Maybe my mum will like this. Who knows? So I think we were going to fly off to one of the Thai islands for a big family holiday. So we had a little bit of downtime the day before that. It was Boxing Day, so just the day after Christmas.
Yep.
And so after we'd all finished packing, we had some downtime, and I'm like, Mom, I think there's a show you might like. I don't know. You might like this one. It's anime. But give it a chance, give it a chance, Mom. You might like this one.
Yeah.
So I put on this first episode of Apothecary Diaries. And I explain it's a palace, it's a China, not China palace soap opera mystery detective show. And my mom's like, oh, okay, that looks interesting. My dad, as usual, sits down with us, locks in. My dad locks in anytime I do anything. My mom is like a bloody cat sometimes, right? Because like it's hard to get her to focus and stuff. And so, you know that feeling when you put on your mate to watch and you can just tell that they're into it. No. You can just tell that they're just not into it.
Oh, not into it.
Yeah.
Longest 3 minutes ever.
Oh man, you got
to do like the awkward like side eye, like
yeah.
Come on, work with me here.
Yeah. So I put on the first episode, and my mom tells me she's interested, but her body language is, oh, I'm just gonna pick up the phone. I'll just go, oh, I gotta. This person's replying, and I'm like, oh, she's missing all the exposition of like everything.
You pause it, you're like, are we watching this, Mom, or not? Are we watching this? Are we watching this? Fucking commit to watching this.
No, thank God.
Put the phone down.
Thank God. The goat, my dad. My mom, like, in the first episode, my mom's like, so what's going on? My dad's like, all right, let me give you the play-by-play. Her name's Mau Mau. She's gotten kidnapped. She's now working in the palace now.
Yeah.
And my mom's like, oh, that's what's going on? Actually, that sounds interesting, actually. So my mom, out of everything, catches like the last 5 minutes.
After all the exposition.
Yeah, after all the exposition. And my dad is the one who is explaining to her everything that's going on.
Yeah.
So apparently the 5 minutes was enough. So the day after, we go over to this Thai island and we arrive right in the morning. And it's not just my family, it's Sydney's entire family as well. So everyone's very excited to just go out and do stuff. It's our holiday after all. Wisconsin family, so they want to start drinking immediately after lunch or whatever. So we all plan to go out, have a day just exploring the island, getting some... And my mom's like, would it be rude, because I'm like a bit tired. Would it be rude if I just stay back, if you guys go off? Would it be rude? I'm like, no, mom, it's holiday. You can do whatever you want.
Rest up.
And my mom's like, okay, so how do I work this TV? And I'm like, so it's the TV works exactly the same as at home, Mom. And they have Netflix as well, and they have everything.
How do I load up Netflix?
Yeah. And she's like,
how do I play where I left off?
Has Netflix, you say? It has Netflix. So we're out. We're not at home the entire day. So I'm out with the family, showing them around. We have lunch, get a few drinks, go to the beach, have dinner. My mum is just nowhere to be seen, uncontactable. We come back in the evening, and my mum is sitting there, and she's on episode 20. She's on episode 20 of like 24 of Apothecary Diaries. I was like, Mom!
In one day?
What?
Your mom was binging Apothecary Diaries.
And she's like,
based.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
20 fucking episodes in. It's gonna be a masterpiece.
It's like 10 hours.
What the heck?
And then she's like, I'll join you guys in a second. Let me just finish this.
There's a couple more episodes left.
Yeah. So she finishes it. She reaches the end. Yeah. And then she's like, that's it? And I'm like, what do you mean that's it, Mom?
Season's over.
She's like, yeah, that's it. She's like, but it was only 24 episodes. I was like, Mom, what do you mean it's only 24 episodes?
That's a lot.
Do you know how rare that is in anime?
But
yeah. But she's like, but the episodes are so short. And I'm like, yes, Mom. Now you know the pain of being an anime fan.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, Mom, it's okay. It's okay. The next episode, the next season is coming out literally next month. And she's like, but that's too long. I want to know what happens now. And so she got completely addicted to Apothecary Diaries, and she is now patiently waiting for the next.
I mean, look,
episode.
if there was any anime that she could have got into, this was probably the best one to get into.
It was fantastic. I knew she would like it. I didn't know she was going to like it that much. I just.
Just living like a college student.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good when they get into something that you actually like think is good.
Yeah.
I remember I saw a Reddit post about something, or I don't know what it was. It was something about how like someone's dad had gotten into gaming, but only fucking Scooby-Doo games.
Okay.
And apparently, like, he was like giga locked the fuck into Scooby-Doo games.
Yeah.
And nothing else. No interest in anything else.
How many Scooby-Doo games are there?
Like 7 or 8.
God
It was a
damn.
fair amount. And I just remember reading it like, that's like a new fear I've unlocked, that my dad gets into something so fucking bad or like weird that is adjacent to my hobby.
Yeah, what's to say that, like, you know, even though you're like, hey, don't play any of these like shitty AI games on my Steam library, what if he's just like, you know what?
I mean, that'd be fine.
These are kind of
I don't
fire.
know. Like, but yeah.
No, that's what you've already introduced him to, like, good games.
Yeah.
I think the problem is when they don't have a
Like a frame of reference.
yeah, a reference of what is a good game, so they just play any game, and they're
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
Oh, this is what gaming is.
This is a game, I guess. I can get into this game.
I mean, look, I don't know. There might be some Scooby-Doo games that are like unironically fire. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Like, what
Have
if,
you played any of them?
What if you're like, mom was like, man, I fucking love Black Bullet, like the anime. Like, just an anime, like, you were like, what? Why are you into
Like,
that?
I heard about this thing called light novels.
Yeah.
Should I start getting into those?
I think she could get into like the light. I don't know. I feel like if there's something to my mom's taste, she is exactly like me, where she will watch. If she's into a genre, she will watch that entire genre, no matter how shitty the writing is. You know, in her case, soap operas. And I've seen some of the soap operas she watches, and god damn, to say that it is like top tier, I'm like, no. I'm like, I think I understand why I can handle shit like Domestic Girlfriend.
Yeah, do not get your mom into domestic.
Because
Girlfriend,
I've seen
please.
some of the level of like what she watches, and I'm like, shit, is this where I got it from? Shit.
Where you got it from?
Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I also watched Orb, though. Orb is amazing.
Yes. Yes. I'm so glad. It's
I think I'm up to date right now. It's peak. It's peak.
Oh,
Thank you for
God.
recommending it, Con.
no worries.
I'm a couple of episodes behind on that, I think, right now.
Yeah. I heard you've been watching anime again recently, Joe.
Dude, I watched all of Apothecary Diaries.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
no way.
I'm up to date. I'm up to date right now on that shit. I've watched like just in this month I've watched 5 anime.
Fuck. Okay.
From start to finish.
5 anime.
5. I've watched more anime in January than I did the past several years.
Who is this man?
The anime
Yeah.
man is back, boys.
Whomst is this man?
Do you enjoy it?
Yes.
Okay. Oh,
I did.
okay.
I was so scared. I was like, man, what if I'm just like not into it anymore? You know, because tastes change, and you know, something you were into when you were younger, maybe you're not so much as an adult. But
Right.
so I thought, oh man, is this an actual burnout, or am I just like done with it?
Right.
But thankfully, I wasn't. I was just burnt out as fuck.
So what are the 5 shows you watch?
Okay, so I watched Apothecary Diaries.
Yeah.
I rewatched Free Ren from start to finish,
Right.
just because I want to catch up with the manga.
Okay.
Because it's fire. I was reading. Oh, I reread the first, I think, 10 volumes of Kaiju number 8.
Oh shit.
And which has gotten really, really good recently. And I started reading the new Prince of Tennis manga. Just because I didn't even know it was a thing.
That's so random.
Dude, I want have you guys read or watched Prince of Tennis?
No.
I've watched Prince of Tennis.
Okay, so you know like how absolutely stupid the show is, right?
Oh, it got really fucking stupid,
Like-
especially
I know
during the
about,
end.
like, Tezuka Zone and all this
Yeah,
stuff.
the Tezuka Zone.
So
where-
Tezuka Zone is like one of the more tame powers.
What?
in especially when you compare it to this new one, right? So like if you don't know, it's Prince of Tennis is a manga from like it's like early 2000s, I think, where it's
Yeah.
essentially it's like the best way to describe it is like, you know, the ridiculousness of JoJo powers.
Yeah, it's just...
It's like that, except if every stand user played tennis.
Okay.
That's the only way to describe it. So the original Prince of Tennis was all set in Japan. So it's like this region versus this region. And it was
Yeah,
like, you know,
right.
you know, Tokyo versus Okinawa or like whatever. The new Prince of Tennis now goes international.
Okay.
So they get all of the characters from the first Prince of Tennis. They pick like the best of through this like tournament arc near the beginning, and then they go and fight international teams to see who's like the world champion. And I'm up to the point now where they're fighting the team from Germany, and it's like
Oh, God.
there was a
like
point.
JoJo?
No, there was
Germany,
a point.
or-
There was a point where like it's starting to get so ridiculous. He's literally like 10 feet tall. He's like
What?
an actual titan. Yeah, look at that.
What?
Look at that.
Surely that would be like detrimental to like play tennis.
Like, that's not Photoshop. That is actually the panel. And Yorma's there being like, damn, I knew Germans were tall, but this guy's a little bit too tall.
What is this? A fucking tie-in?
That's a real thing. And this is what I love about Prince of Tennis is the fact that they do ridiculous shit like this, and they act like it's a super serious thing. It's like, man, I knew the international team was going to be a formidable foe, but this was the last thing I was expecting.
Surely you just like wouldn't.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, how can he hit the ball? I suppose, how big is his racket?
Yeah.
No, it's half the size of the fucking court.
It's like the size of a helicopter.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
5'10".
Yeah, and of course they're somehow able to play tennis against this motherfucker.
Oh my god.
I just had a fucking blast reading this. It's so funny. You got to read it.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, so just this past like few weeks, I've just been like,
Damn.
But you know what? It was kind of gratifying for me as well because for the longest time I was like, oh man, maybe I just like don't like anime anymore.
You crying watching it. I like
No,
it. I
dude,
still like it.
Yeah, I was like, thank fuck. I actually still like this shit.
Yeah.
And I think that just goes to show just how much of a insane burnout I was on when it came to like anime and manga.
Yeah.
Because I had a fucking blast. Like watching and reading. So yeah.
We had a great couple of last seasons. I think last season was stacked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
last
sure.
year. And you picked, I remember some day or the day after Christmas, or maybe it was New Year's, where I get a random message from Joey, and he sends me the trailer of a new anime coming out, and he's like, looks like the anime man's coming back, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on, Joey? Excited for anime?
Oh yeah, because they're making anime for Takopi, right?
Yeah, Takopi,
What the hell happened in
yeah.
Australia? What did his dad pulled him aside and had a conversation?
It's like you can watch anime again. I'm like, okay, Dad.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So
2025, the year of the anime man.
I'm coming back, baby.
He's coming back.
I'm coming back. You just had to give me a
Officially.
3-year break, but I think I'm back. I think I'm ready.
Finally, my brother is returned.
Yeah. So prepare for more horrendous takes that will make you probably want to kill me. There you go.
Yeah, outside of anime though, I had a real life Ratatouille moment.
What's that mean?
Explain yourself, Khan. Explain yourself.
This has never, ever happened to me before.
Okay.
But we were having a celebration dinner for so it was me and Sydney on a date before the New Year's, and we thought, let's treat ourselves before the New Year's comes. Let's go to a nice restaurant. So we go to this restaurant, and it's a lovely meal, a course meal, which is a lot. There are a lot of places here in Japan that do like course meals, and now in Thailand a lot of them are popping up as well. So we thought we'd try this one that was close to where we lived, and it was a fine meal. Up until for the most part, we mostly just did it for the vibes and just to try something new. And then we get to the desserts where we could order different desserts. And there was this fucking milk dessert. I don't know how you guys feel about milk desserts, but I'm like, nah.
Not slop or pudding. I'm like,
Yeah.
Not my first choice.
Yeah. Not my first choice. So I go for the coffee flavored dessert
Nice.
as you do. And so when we ordered the desserts, this time the actual chef comes out himself.
Oh, okay.
The actual chef comes out himself to give us these desserts. And I can't remember much of what he said, I'll be honest. All I remember was he gave a lovely kind of pudding in milk with some crunchy bits on top of it, and he's just like, this is like a play on some of the stuff that my mum used to make for me.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, okay. The chef really cared about this dish, and he came out to present it, and then which is more like a coffee kind of cake. And so I have my dessert, and it's fine. And then Sydney has a bite of her, and she's like, this tastes weird. I don't know what this taste is. And I'm like, I don't really like milk desserts. And she's like, no, please give it a try. I'm like, okay, but I'm really full. I'll have one bite. And I remember taking a spoonful of this pudding, right? And taking a bite. And my mind literally just went. And I instantly recognized the taste. I instantly recognized the taste. Because my boss man chef, anyone living in Southeast Asia, you'll understand what I mean when I say he made somehow a high quality play on a Milo dessert.
Oh my God.
And I have never had this moment before where I've had one taste and it literally I was just like, I tasted the Milo and it just brought me back to being at my fucking grandma's house eating Milo for like the morning. Yeah. And I'm just like silent for a bit. Are you okay?
I'm thinking, woman.
And I'm like,
he's in his mind palace.
And I'm like, can we swap desserts? And bro, I'm just like a fucking kid again, being like
tearing up.
Just like, it was such a weird experience where a flavor just like unlocked my memory because I've never because.
Me when I eat beans.
yeah. It was like a memory that I'd forgotten I had, and I'm like, damn, food's fucking awesome, man. I get it.
Best thing in life, man.
I fucking get it now, man.
You get it finally.
I already get it, but now I just have this extra layer of appreciation for like how fucking amazing food can be.
Of course, everything.
Yeah,
food is
yeah,
everything.
Of course.
It's fucking
it kind of like I've never had that experience before outside of just like music, where listening to a song just unlocks
brought
that
you back.
Just that brought me back.
Dude, for my opinions, I still think that like British food is better than German food. Not that like I'm not saying it's bad. I just think that like British food gets too much hate.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
German food was phenomenal because I love salt and meat. So I was happy.
Yeah.
And I was eating, every single restaurant I went to, I fucking love sauerkraut.
Oh, dude,
love
it's the best.
You could hand me a giant fucking bowl.
Give me a salad bowl of sauerkraut
I would
and I'll chomp
eat it, gobble
Yeah.
it up. So every restaurant I went to, I was like, can I get a side of sauerkraut with this? And I was eating it, and I was thinking it, I was eating it, and I was like, huh, this is just white people kimchi. Right?
Fuck.
Right?
Holy shit.
I laughed and then I thought about it. I was just like,
no, it is.
shit, he might be cooking.
This is just like white people kimchi. Or I guess kimchi would be Asian sauerkraut.
Asian
Which one came
sauerkraut.
first? I don't know, but I was eating it and I was like, this one of them's spicy. One of them's a lot more sour and but I was like, this is white people kimchi. This is what it is. It is. Right?
I mean, yeah, kind of.
I think you're right.
I mean, it's pretty old. Sauerkraut is phenomenal though.
It's so
What
good.
a fucking amazing dude. And it's like the perfect dish to go with all this like heavy, meaty, potato-y food.
Oh, kimchi definitely came first. 3,000 years ago.
That's crazy. Dude, it was great. And I had sausages. Every meal, I would get sauerkraut, and I'd be like, every place would be like, do you have pretzels as well? They're like, yes. I'm like, I'll take a pretzel. So I think I ate, counting the beer, I think it was like 5,000 calories a day, every day. It was just so much, but it was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, how many kilos did you all put on during
I don't know. I don't count. We don't count it. We don't count during Christmas. That's not the point.
That's fair.
But I ate a lot. I also, ProZD gave us some recommendations for board games for like family members who maybe don't, they don't want to sit down and read a bunch of rules.
Sure.
Yeah.
And he recommended 3 games. I bought all 3. All 3 of them, phenomenal. They were amazing. Family loved them. Every single day we'd play these board games.
Hell yeah.
The one where you do like the numbers. It's called The Mind.
Oh, yeah.
Where you put 1 to 100. Dude, we were getting heated over it. Because it'd be like 10 p.m. My dad might have started on the beers early, and he's, maybe he's a little tipsy. It was infuriating playing that game with someone who was not locked in. Because the whole game is that like maybe we'd have 2 cards each from 0 to 100, and we'd have to go ascending. So if I put like 1, you can discern that maybe the next card's in play, it's probably going to be like a 12 to 15 difference, right?
Yeah.
So he'd have like you put down 1, he'd have like a 6 and he wouldn't move. And we're all like, we're all thinking like, no one got a lower card? No one got a lower, okay, I'll go. And then he'd be like, oh.
I had a
mean?
6.
You'd be like, what do you mean? Oh, I'm sitting here toiling. I have a 20. I don't know if I should go.
Yeah.
And then one time I got so angry. I genuinely tilted at a family board game. Put down 55. We're all waiting. We've all got like 1 card each. We're all sweating. I've got like 70. And I'm like, okay, shit. Okay, I think it's my turn.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I put down 70. And he goes, oh. He had 56. I was like, Dad.
56 comes after 55.
No one else could have gone better than you. You were not looking. And then sometimes you go, is it my turn? I was like, there's no turns. You just go when you think you have the next lowest number, Dad. Go. I was getting tilted. But it was great. And then we played another game called Just One. That was really fun.
Yeah.
It was really good board games. Thank you, ProZD, for giving us a fantastic board game.
Yeah, my sister brought like a bunch of like card games and like family games.
Yeah.
She brought over a Monopoly card game.
Dude, my brother loves this game too.
Dude, it's fucking
Monopoly card game?
yeah.
Dude.
I'd never even heard about it.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
If you hate like the how long a Monopoly game is, Monopoly Deal. That's
But
it.
you have to fuck each other over.
You
so
do.
It can be very fucking
Oh,
annoying.
but dude, our family is like pros at fucking each other. So like by the end of it, my dad would just get so
it's pretty good.
tilted.
It's pretty good. You just have to get like you basically just draw cards.
Yeah.
Right.
And the first person to get 3 full sets wins.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's over in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10, 15 minutes at most.
It's actually surprisingly a pretty good game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can play it. It's
thought.
very,
Yeah,
very good.
We should play it. Maybe on Patreon.
Yeah, on the
Yeah,
Patreon
maybe
we
we
can play
should
it.
on Patreon.
Yeah, but
looks like fun.
we got so heated playing this game just
Dude,
because this game is all about
Because you
fucking
can
over
fucking
other
steal
people.
everything. Yeah.
There's like a card where you can steal an entire like finished set.
Yes. Oh my
Of properties and just,
my God.
just like when you get it in your hand, you just do that look of like I'm about to
Until you get-
ruin one of your
But
guys'
then
days.
someone else can draw a card that's like negate all effects.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
like, no. Like, oh.
Yeah, we called it the hell nah card. Throw it down, it's like hell nah.
It's good. It's a good game. Yeah, I mean, board games just hit a niche that sometimes
Yep.
Yeah.
you can't get with other games.
Absolutely.
One thing I also learned about Germans is that they don't fuck around with kebabs. They take kebabs very seriously. I knew that like kebabs are a really popular dish in Germany, and so I posted one to Twitter. I was like, "Damn, I've been eating kebabs nonstop," and then everyone was like, "You call that a kebab? No." No. I was like, what the fuck? And everyone's roasting me in the comments. Being like, that's not a kebab. Fake German kebab. That can't be real. They'd be like, based on the location, this is South Germany kebab. I was like, what the fuck? And he was right. I was like, what the fuck is this? What is this?
The
What is
rainbow
this
of kebab.
Yeah. I don't get it. Everyone in Germany loves kebabs.
I mean,
And
based.
I was
That's
waiting
a great
outside. I was waiting outside of this one place getting a kebab, and I was talking to this German guy, and he, was waiting, and because I didn't know if he was waiting to order or he'd ordered and waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I asked him, I was like, "Oh man, have you ordered?" He's like, "Oh no, go ahead." It was I'm doing my order, then we're standing there waiting, and he goes, "So you like kebabs?" Classic German dialogue.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's good. And I was like, "Do you like this one?" He goes, "This is not the best in German." I was like, what kind of response is that?
Yeah, I'm like, thanks for waiting after I finished ordering.
And I'm like, you ordered from here, right? I ordered from here. Why did you order from here? This is not the best. Where is the best in Germany? Why am I ordering from here?
Yeah.
German dialogue utterly confused me at times.
I think that's actually a compliment in German, actually.
I think so. I think he was saying it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, I think
it's good, but there is better.
Yeah, I understood. Like, I was trying to understand in the German way of speaking that this is like his way of saying it's aight.
Yeah. Because
Which is
he
fine,
didn't
right?
say it was bad.
Yeah.
He just said he just implied
There's
that
better.
there is better. And to be fair, this is not the best in Germany.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, okay, so there's only one kebab that is.
Yeah, because I realize this when a German tells me something is good. This is like me saying, bro, this is the fucking shit. This is the best spot I've ever had in my life. This is phenomenal. They go, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, them saying it's good is saying it's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's always the
Germans.
opposite.
Germans watching. Can you translate for us, please? What is wow?
Yeah.
Dude, they know it. And the thing is those bastards in Germany, they know it. They know
Yeah.
that they're confusing to us.
Yeah.
They know that it makes no fucking sense when they talk like this.
Yeah.
But they can't help it. But they're very nice.
Yeah.
I love the Germans. Very sweet people. While Joey pees, should I tell a story? I'll wait. I'll wait.
Oh, yeah. I'm listening. I'm listening.
All right, God's listening to me.
I'm
So
listening.
I'll hear it when the episode airs.
True. So I went to the like tourist trap, although it's like kind of a cool spot. It's in Munich. It's been there since like the 1500s. Obviously, it was destroyed during the World War, but it's rebuilt.
Okay.
But it's like a huge touristy spot. But it's kind of fun to go there, you know, and kind of have that atmosphere of like an insane hall where everyone is just chugging giant beers.
Yeah.
And we went there and sat. Oh, I can't exactly tell you the tells, but you could just tell when someone's Japanese instantly. I feel like I can spot someone who's Japanese in a foreign country. Maybe it's the clothing, maybe it's the manners. I think it's a bit of everything.
It's the energy.
You could just, I'm instant, bro. I can tell when someone is Japanese. It is mainly, I think, fashion sense, mostly
It's fashion
for me.
and the way they carry themselves as well.
It's so obvious when they're
Like
Japanese.
when they give off that like reserved energy, I'm like,
Yeah.
Japanese.
So I'm sitting on the edge of this bench, you know, like an eight-seater bench of my family.
Yeah.
And he happens to sit on the bench next to me, which is like, you know, it's literally like this difference.
Yeah.
Right. And, you know, and I'm sitting there and I'm with my family, you know, and I'm occasionally like stealing a glance, seeing what's going on, because I can see that he's struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
Because the table that he's on, because it's like a big hall, you kind of just sit on a table.
Yeah.
And you're just with people. And they're trying to help him with the English menu. Because that's like the universal cry for help in any language. It's like, oh, it's the English menu.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, this guy doesn't speak a lick of English either. And so, you know, I'm like, oh, you know what? Fuck it. I whipped him and I'm like, I just asked him in Japanese, do you need any help? And he's like, fuck. Like spooked. He's like, the hell is this? I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, I live in Tokyo. I speak Japanese, so I can help you out if you need any help. He's like, oh, awesome. What do you recommend? I was like, beer. You have to get a beer.
As you do.
You have to get a beer in a beer hall. So get a beer. I was like, that's the big one. This normal one is what you would call a large in Japan.
Yeah.
And then the only thing that I felt super bad about, and he's gonna hate me to the day he dies, is that he's asking like, tabemono wa osusume? Like, what food should I get? What should he get?
Sauerkraut.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, what is a solid recommendation for a Japanese guy
Yeah.
who really wants to try something traditional? They had the white sausage, which is like I
Vice versa.
I forgot what it's called. You might be right. It might be a vice versa. Type in like German white sausage name. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I'm not a big vice versa enjoyer. He was considering getting it. I was like, that's better. That's better on the menu here.
Yeah.
I was like, I recommend, even though I know it's not a very traditional dish, because I'm thinking like, what would a Japanese guy like? I'm like, he'd probably fuck with goulash. They had goulash on the menu. Okay. Which is not a German thing. I was like, get goulash or get the sausage platter so you can try like 6 different types of sausage.
Yeah.
Not just like one type. And I guess I misunderstood what he said. I thought he said, are the pork? I said, yeah, they're pretty big, but should be fine.
Yeah.
What he actually asked me was, is ordering both of these too much? We're in Germany, right? And these both are like 20 euros each.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he ordered both. So he orders his beer, and then this goulash comes out, which, you know, because my thinking was like, it's kind of like a curry in the sense of like the closest comparison a Japanese person has. It's like curry, Japanese curry with more flavor.
Yeah.
And the meat is phenomenal. Like it's tender meat, very easy to eat, kind of light. And so he eats all this goulash and recommendation. I felt good about myself. He's drinking his beer, and I'm chatting with him a little bit, and we're talking about, what is he doing here and stuff. And he was like trying to see all the touristy stuff. And then I'm like feeling good to myself. And then a second I turn, I see another giant plate come into view. It's the fucking sausage platter with a bed of sauerkraut. It's massive.
Yeah.
And then like he looks at it, and then he looks at me slowly, and I'm like, oh, she's on there. And I felt so bad. And the entire time in my peripheral, I keep seeing him go, He's forcing himself to eat this whole thing.
Yeah.
Like a beard meets food YouTube video. He's getting through it. He gets to like one sausage left and he finally taps out, but he fucking gave it a good effort.
Good man.
He got nearly all the way through all of this food.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, I hope you enjoyed it, man. He's like, thanks, man. And I was like, I felt bad. I was like, I should probably go and just pay for all of his food.
Right.
But I didn't know how he would respond to that, how that will look. So I was like, you know what, I hopefully I helped him enough and didn't fuck. I just felt so bad about it.
He just did a speed run. That's all.
Yeah.
Listen, he got to try 2 dishes, which was my real intention.
Except one of them wasn't German.
Goulash is not German. But it is phenomenal in Germany. It's phenomenal in Germany.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's...
You got to try some European cuisine.
Yeah,
some
exactly.
Proper European cuisine.
So that's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. Look, the beer is the only meal you need in Germany. You don't need anything else. Beer and bread's all you need.
Also, you got to speak Japanese outside of Japan.
It always feels like you're like some kind of like, you know those IRL polyglot videos?
Yeah.
It's like you feel like you're like that for like 0.1 seconds until you realize you're a normal human being and you know.
Yeah.
Watch me speak a foreign language in a foreign country.
Konnichiwa. Shit.
God damn, no way.
No, it's great. I mean, because you always feel like whenever you learn a language, it's always, I think, so awesome whenever you get to use it in a country it's not really applicable.
Especially when you are able to break it out when you least expect it.
Yeah, for sure.
Although in this case, it might have actually made his day worse. But the thought was there.
Yeah.
He's like, tourists even in the foreign countries are ruining my experiences.
I'm sure he will remember just this random bloke that could speak Japanese that came up to him in Europe. I'm sure he wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah,
you know?
no, it was great. He was really sweet there. I spoke to him a bit about what he was doing and how he ended up in Germany of all places. So it was really, really cool. I think he was studying in the UK actually. Just recently started and then wanted to come see Europe for Christmas.
Right.
I was like, oh, awesome, man.
Yeah, right on.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what, like only like 14% of Japanese people have a passport?
Yeah.
So whenever I see another Japanese person out there, I'm like, damn, man.
It's like a shiny Pokemon.
Yeah, I hope you're having a good time, dude. Like, enjoy it, dude. We're super nice. Come on, have a good time. Drink some beer. You
Exactly.
know, like, it's like so...
Welcome
refreshing.
to the rest of the world.
Yeah, I mean, like, genuinely, like, I think...
20%.
I mean, especially when it's so fucking expensive now to travel.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Absolutely. Especially Europe.
Traveling out the country. Europe is
pricey. Yeah.
Pricey.
Bro, I hate the service in Europe. I hate eating out in Europe. The service is miserable most of the time.
Yeah.
It's just not a fun time. And then you got to tip sometimes as well. God, I hate this. It's so bad. Dude, it feels like in Europe, finding a waiter is the hardest task of all time. Specifically, only when you need to pay and leave. Staff has left the building.
Yeah.
And you're like, where is everyone?
Or if they are there, it's like they're trying everything they can to avoid looking at you.
You'll be like... And then they'll like walk past you.
Yeah.
Only when it's the bill. Only when it's the game. I'm trying to get out of here. It's like a fucking Mr. Beast. I spent 24 hours. I'm trying to get the fuck out of here.
Do you find it like? Do you find that you keep some of your Japanese mannerisms when you go travel abroad
for sure.
now?
Yeah.
God, I cannot stop like bowing. I can't stop doing it.
They'll have me something. I'll be like, the slight bow.
It's the slight bow. Also, I kind of realize how like OP like just the word "ja" is because
so OP.
I like when we were in Thailand, I couldn't stop saying it when you're ordering something and they're like, oh, you don't have it. Then I just catch myself going "ja."
Because I do this with Welsh. I think it might be because you don't use Thai as much in as like main language, and then it's like everything else.
Yeah,
and then it's kind of like and so whenever you need like a same in Welsh, I do it as well. I'll say something and I'll be like, demo. I'll be like, no, not demo. That doesn't mean anything. Let me talk properly.
Yeah, I had to get Sydney to stop like fucking doing the equivalent of like sumimasen because
you just kind of look weird.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like ingrained into my habit now. Yeah.
No.
That's so funny.
Are you the same in Australia?
Yeah, except I don't give a shit.
Yeah, you don't give a shit.
Yeah, I'm just like, gomenasai. Sorry, I'm Japanese.
Sorry, I'm just out.
Sorry, I just live in Japan.
That's like a whole thing. Sorry, I'm a really interesting person, by the way.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm actually like one of the most interesting people here.
Yeah. You keep talking to me, please.
Yeah. How's your Christmas in Australia?
I just got shit faced.
He doesn't remember
every day.
a single thing.
I would wake up, I'd go downstairs, my dad's pouring a gin and tonic, and I'm like, Dad, it's at 10 a.m. And he's like, yeah, I gotta get started early. I'm like, okay.
It's allowable on Christmas.
It's allowable.
And then, of course, we'd get absolutely fucked by like 2 p.m. or rage quit, and then my dad would be like, all right, fucking load up the Wii. Let's go. Play some Wii bowling.
I played a lot of TFT. I
played a lot of TFT.
You play TFT?
Well, because like I feel like on holidays, I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but specifically like Christmas holidays.
Yeah.
9 a.m. to 2 p.m. is a no doing anything kind of time for me. It is specifically we will do nothing. We are gonna chill, drink a fucking coffee, watch some shit on the TV, talk shit, do nothing.
Yeah.
That's how I like it. So I'll just be like, all right, have my morning coffee. All right, let's play 2 games of TFT. Fuck.
Yeah, see, it was the opposite for me because
I'd do it in the living room. They'd be like, what are you doing? I'm like, don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's the opposite for us because my dad falls asleep at like 7 p.m.
Okay. Well,
yeah, because he's drinking from like 11.
So where my dad would fucking turbo int in my games and ruin the mind.
Yeah.
Yours just falls asleep.
Yeah, my dad's like two bowls of wine in by like 5 p.m. and he's like, fuck son, I gotta go to bed. Like I'm screwed.
I did feel like I was in like a world competition of drinking when I went to your house. I was like, your dad was impressively good.
Both my and but
God,
so
that
like
wine was so good though at your place.
It was. But like, yeah, it was like so. Everything we did with the family would be up until maybe around 8 p.m.
Yeah.
At most.
Yeah.
And then by the time like 8:30 hit, like everybody else is in bed. I'm just like, fuck, man, dude. It's like I guess I'll load up my Switch.
Yeah, play some games.
I'll just play some games until I fall asleep.
Dude, it's sad that we've gone to Melbourne the past 2 times because I want to go to Sydney again purely just to.
Just hang out with my parents.
Dude, it was great. Yeah. Your dad made a phenomenal meal, and then we just fucking got shit-faced and played
It was a fucking
phenomenal.
Great
Absolutely
vibe.
Arguably one of the best nights.
Yeah.
So that's the true.
Honestly, highlight Sydney.
I don't remember a whole lot in Sydney specifically, but I remember that day very vividly.
I remember that day.
Yeah. That was peak. That
was a lot of booze.
And now we can play Monopoly Go.
We play Monopoly Deal and bust out the Wii afterwards. That's what's
that
up.
was a lot of wine that was being drunk. As well.
Charcuterie board has to be commended and Joe. Look, if you do charcuterie whenever, you got to commit to it. And Joe's family committed to the board.
My sister has it down to like an art.
That's like 3 types of patés?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And it's just like, that's just the beginning.
And I was like, when the paté's gone, we have room for all the other stuff I couldn't fit on this
My
giant
sister is the
board.
only person I know who will make a charcuterie board course. It's
It was
here's the
insane.
charcuterie, here's the
Insane.
entree charcuterie, and then is the main charcuterie.
It was like one of those detective cork laid out. They were like, this is the charcuterie board. It was a commitment, and I respect it.
Yeah.
There's nothing more I respect than a commitment to a charcuterie board.
Yep.
That's how you feel welcome.
Yeah, that is.
Oh my God. Except in Japan, charcuterie is so expensive.
It is, yeah.
Oh, it's imported.
Do you remember when I came to your house that one time when I came with it was like 12 pieces of salami, like 3 different types, and I was like, this is $50 gone. You were like, what?
I'm like, where did you get this
Every time I go to like Caldi and I see like the charcuterie board sets that they have, and it's just like, oh, here's 12 slices of like tiny salami for like
in like maybe Australia or Europe would be like bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, it'd be like
it's like
Tesco Selects.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like the cheapest of the cheap. That's what I feel about all like the fucking cheese selections as well.
Yeah.
Where you get like sometimes you get the packs where it's just like here it's just a bunch of cheeses.
Yeah, here's a bunch of like Lego bricks of cheese.
Yeah,
and it's like,
right,
I don't want that. I want a slice.
I think that's my New Year's resolution. More charcuterie this year. I think I just didn't have enough last year.
Just treat yourself. Make yourself a
I
charcuterie.
just didn't have enough. I want gout, actually. I think it's a good thing. King's disease for a reason.
Oh my God.
If anyone's going to get gout on this podcast, it's going to be me.
Definitely.
If probably Chris first.
Yeah,
Chris first before anyone.
Chris is speedrunning gout.
Dude, bro's going to go for a generational run. The summoning salt music is playing whenever we're at the restaurant with Chris with the charcuterie board.
Sea-Dog was doing well on the leaderboard until a new face showed up.
A new time save.
And
was
his
found.
name was Chris Broad.
Oh my God. Yeah, but it's just fun being around family. And going. I'm getting to the age now where just going for a walk is a thing.
Oh,
yeah.
Do you know what me and Sydney have been doing? This can sound so old, but just waking up and just having a morning coffee and just talking about just chilling out with because we did it in Thailand a lot because obviously we had like a great view and everything like that, so we would just wake up a little bit earlier than we would used to, just get a coffee, just look at the view.
That's nice, man.
And just chat for a bit. And
Wow,
I'm like,
you're raw dogging the morning.
I don't believe in breakfast as a daily concept, but when I'm like vacationing, I love when you get to like share breakfast with some great
100%.
breakfast or coffee, anything.
Yeah.
It's just so good.
Definitely.
I'm just never hungry enough for breakfast.
Me too.
Unfortunately.
Same.
But if it's good enough, I'll make it work.
Yeah.
I'll make it work.
Yeah.
But yeah, I used to think like a walk had to serve a purpose. But I think I've
like going a
you
destination.
need to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Like you can't or like walk to a coffee. You can't just walk and come back. But now I'm getting to that point where I'm like, I will go for a 30-minute walk.
You're doing that here?
I'm doing it in Japan.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the best place to do it.
And we went into Wales.
Yeah.
But I realized I'm not quite at the level that my parents and my brother's like, he like every minute has to be doing something.
Yeah.
He when he wants to walk, it's like 3 hours. I'm like,
That's a hike.
this is a bit much. This is a bit much. Can we shave it down to one?
That's a pilgrimage.
I'm in the middle at one. After one is what I have to consider what I'm wearing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like with anything,
For
right?
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's nice. But we did a walk in Wales, and I was like, oh, Wales is just Silent Hill. It was so foggy every day in Wales.
Oh, yeah.
And it was genuinely like Silent Hill. I took a picture, and I thought it was so funny because I went for a walk at night after Christmas because I'd eaten so much food.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have to have a walk, like physically. I think my body yearns for a walk. So I went for a walk, and I was walking, and I thought, Silent Hill, look at this shit.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
And then I where did I go? And then we went for a walk.
Yeah.
We went for a walk in Wales. It was sunny. An hour later,
Jesus.
suddenly you couldn't see like 10 meters in front of you.
Far out.
Oh my god.
And we were walking on the biggest aqueduct in the world. It's cool. Not built by the Romans, which I thought it was.
Oh, wow.
It's in Wales, yeah, North Wales. I didn't know an hour from my house. I never heard of it. I don't know how.
Because you never went for walks.
Yeah, I never went for walks. Can you show it? World's largest aqueduct. It's really cool, actually. If we ever do like
When you can see it.
when we do a trash taste special in Wales, we'll go here.
Yeah, for sure.
It's cool. Yeah, it looks fucking badass. You can kayak across it.
Whoa, that's cool.
It's massive.
Wow, that's really high up.
Very high up. There's a
cool.
couple of them,
awesome.
but that one is huge. And it's
Yeah.
stunning, really beautiful.
That's lovely.
If you're ever in North Wales, go check it out. It's phenomenal. Yeah, it's great. Just awesome. Yeah, it's kind of trippy on the water how close you are
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
edge.
To the
That is very
you,
scary.
you look like
Yeah.
you can just fall off.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's awesome. So cool. I forget how cool Wales is until I go back. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty fucking cool. Just played a lot of games. Played a lot of different games.
Yeah, I just seen just a lot of like TV shows. Oh, I started Squid Game season 2.
Oh, I finished it.
You finished it?
Yeah.
I'm up to episode 3 right now.
All right, you gotta finish it. Let me know what
Yeah.
you think.
Dude, the scene where the dude pops a molly. And I was like, what?
Yeah, it was
What
interesting.
the fuck's going on?
Yeah, it was an interesting interpretation of drugs.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if this is exactly how a person on drugs would behave, but sure.
Yeah.
But it's fun. I was expecting Squid Game season 2 to be beyond terrible, just because it felt like forced, but it was actually not bad.
Yeah.
I was,
I've been really enjoying it actually.
the actors do such a good job.
Yeah.
So I think it can carry the weak moments. Of the
Oh, that
story.
first episode when they're playing the Russian roulette.
The actor was phenomenal.
Oh my god, that actor is so fucking good.
Although there was one scene in the start where I was like, okay, it's weird. It was the scene where there's a scene in the season 2 Squid Game where there's this guy who's kind of like the recruiter for the Squid Games.
Yeah.
And they're trailing him because they managed to find him. And they go to a park and he's a bunch of bread and a bunch of scratch cards.
Yeah.
And it like insinuated that like poor people or homeless people could only go for the scratch cards.
Yeah.
Which I understood in the world, in the context of the message, but I was like, this feels like a kind of damaging thing to like. I was like, I feel like if we did it in real life, it would not be. Other people would not unequivocally choose the scratch card.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I got the message that they were
Yeah.
trying to say. It's like, oh, people who are in need like would rather go for the
Yeah,
big,
yeah.
potential win than to go for the small guaranteed
But
win.
I feel like in a time where homeless people are so demonized already as is,
Yeah.
having one of the most popular shows in the world be like, look at these dumb homeless people. All they know is scratch cards and gambling.
What are we talking about?
Talking about Squid Game season 2.
Squid Game season 2. How is it? Is it good?
I'm 3
good.
episodes in and it's pretty good so far.
Oh,
it's
shit.
like it's actually like every episode. I feel like it's managing to build onto, I guess, like the background lore of everything while also keeping things like still fresh and interesting. Like the end of episode 3, I was just like, yo. When the guy, I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but like when a person reveals himself in the game, and I'm just like, okay, this is going in an interesting direction,
right?
And the acting is so good. It's so fucking good. You gotta.
I'll watch it eventually.
Because season 3 is already coming out like
Yeah.
end of this year, I think.
Yeah, because they filmed like 2 seasons in a row, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They've already announced season 3.
Unfortunately, I
wait,
watched
no.
a few episodes of real life Squid Game. Yeah.
You watch Beast Games?
Yeah.
Why'd you watch Beast Games?
Yeah.
Because it was actually the Christmas holiday. We were really fucking drunk, and we were like, "What would be a good show to put on as we are fucking just so fucking drunk?" And then Beast Game pops up as we're browsing, and we're like, "All right, I'm drunk enough." And let me tell you, I would not want to watch this show sober at all.
How bad is it?
as a fucking drunk thing you put on Christmas when you're just fucking talking shit with the fam. It was a fun experience.
I saw like all the reviews were absolutely rinsing it for being so bad.
Really?
Yeah, like the Guardians review was so funny.
Yeah.
And a lot of the reviews are very funny.
I legitimately, I saw like a trailer for it. I'm like, this is just like a Mr. Beast video.
Well,
I mean, it
It is. But
Yeah.
the thing is that it was kind of interesting because normally a Mr. Beast video was never ever like critically analyzed. Normal critics.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it was the first time where like normal critics who are used to watching like, well-produced TV shows, movies, like finally kind of had to force to like sit down and watch a Mr. Beast thing and have thoughts on it. And it was great. It's just so funny because the reviews were so scathing because they accurately like summarize how you feel about like Mr. Beast videos in general.
Yeah.
And I saw this one thing where someone said, it's like, why would you want to feel like you're the billionaire assholes in Squid Game? Because that's what you are when you watch it, right?
Yeah.
You're the billionaire assholes who are like the pieces of shit who are watching.
And I would say watching it was kind of like, I don't think it's too different from just the trash TV game shows that you've seen sometimes.
Yeah.
It gave off that vibe, just kind of like even like higher. I don't even know if it's higher scale, but the reason it was like because it was just like trash TV, Like,
But
so
like
kinda
just further exacerbated by the scale of it all.
like a fucking Survivor or fucking Master Chef, but but like the
which are
stakes
always
were
the
just
best shows to watch while drunk.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
But the stakes were just like a lot higher.
Yeah, for
it was
sure.
the stakes were a lot higher.
I love this. A slow motion luxury cruise ship disaster, crashing, exploding, and sinking slowly below the waves. God damn.
There was another one that was pretty brutal. They were like, Jimmy as a host has like no appeal and is just obnoxious. Like, yeah, they were pretty. A lot of people were very brutal about him as a host, being like, he's just not a good host.
Right.
Yeah,
Which I think, out of all of the criticism of Mr. Beast, I think is